First exercise of Euclid's geometry of class 9th. Here first question is, which of the following statements are true, which are false? Give reason for your answer. The first question is, only one line can pass through a single point. So in first main we have first question, only one line can pass through a single point. If there is a single point, so there are, if one line passes here, okay. So here one more line passes, okay, see. So not only a single line, there are many lines are passes through a single point. Yes, the statement is here false, because the reason is many lines can be passes through a single point. Many are infinitely, many lines are passed through a single point. Next, second question. There are an infinite number of lines which pass through two distinct points. If there are two distinct points, so here we know the postulate says a line, okay, a single line can be drawn through a two distinct point, okay, they have given. So infinite number of lines, okay, the statement is false, because by postulate it says only one line can be drawn through two distinct points. Next, third question is, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both sides. Okay, the third question is, a terminated line, okay, see here, if it is terminated here, it can be produced indefinitely on both sides. Okay, here, yes, we can produce this indefinitely. Okay, so here by the statement is true. Okay, by second postulate, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both the sides. Next, fourth question. If two circles are equal, then their radii are equal. Okay, the fourth question is, see, if two circles are equal, if two circles are equal means their radii is equal, because if two circles are equal means their centers coincide with each other. Okay, then their circumference coincide each other, then radii is equal. Yes, the statement is true if two circles are equal, their centers and circumference coincide, hence their radii is same. Their radii are same. Fifth question is, in the given figure, AB is equals to PQ. Yes, they have given the three line segments here, AB, PQ, this is XY. Okay, they have given AB is equals to PQ and PQ is equals to XY, then AB equals to XY. Okay, see here, AB equals to PQ and PQ equals to XY. Here PQ is equals to AB and XY. Okay, then yes, AB equals to xy, yes by exam. If two things are equal to same things, then those are equal. Okay, so the statement is true. Yes, by exam it says if same things are equal to, or is if two things, okay, you can take two things are equal to same things, then they are equal. So here second main question, here this one first one. So second main question, give a definition for each of the following terms. Are there other terms that need to be defined first? What are they? How might you define them? Okay, so here first one is parallel lines. Here parallel lines, yes, the two lines are said to be parallel if the distance between them, the perpendicular distance between them is always constant, or two lines are do not intersect each other, then those lines are called parallel lines. Okay, the two lines are said to be parallel if the perpendicular distance between them is constant. So to define parallel lines, we need to define first point, line, distance. Okay, to define parallel lines, we need to know point, line, distance. Okay, so many things. Next, second one is perpendicular line. Perpendiculars are lines are nothing but the two lines are said to be perpendicular if they intersect at 90 degree. If two lines intersect at 90 degree are called as perpendicular lines. Okay, here, so to define perpendicular lines, we again need to define line, angle. Okay, 90 degree means angle, then intersection. Okay, to define perpendicular lines, we must know line, angle, intersection. Okay, third one is line segment. So line segment is nothing but a straight line which drawn from any two points is called line segment. So this is what we call line segment. We can draw this by any 2 points. Okay, so to define this one, again we need to know, to define line segment, we must know point, line. Next, fourth one is radius of circle. radius of circle. Okay, so we know the radius of circle is nothing but the line segment which joins the center to the point on the circle. So the radius is nothing but it is a distance between the center to any point on the circle. So to define radius, we must know point, line, distance, circle. Next, fifth one is square. Yes, it is a quadrilateral. We know it is a quadrilateral with the same sides and the angle, four angles are equals to 90 degree. The square is a quadrilateral of having four sides of equal length and four angles are same. That is, the angles are equals to 90 degree. So here also to define square, we must know quadrilateral, sides, angles, yes, third main is consider two postulates given below. First one is given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B. Yes, first one is given two distinct points A and B. Okay, so there exists a third point C that is in between this. Okay, so this is first one, and the second one is there exists at least 3 points that are not on the same line. Okay, they have given 3 points, they are not on the same line. Okay, yes, here the 3 points are not on the same line. Okay, here do the postulate contain any undefined terms? Yes, these have many undefined terms here. Yes, the undefined terms are point, okay, two distinct points, line. Yes, these are the undefined terms. Are these postulates consistent? Yes, these are consistent because they refer to different situations. Do they follow Euclid postulates? And explain. Yes, these are not follow these two statements do not follow any Euclid postulates. Okay, the Euclid postulate is, yes, there is a line which can drawn to any 2 points. Okay, so but these are not postulates. These do not follow Euclid's postulates. They can follow from any exam. They can follow from any exams. Exams are nothing but these are the general statements which can apply in any situation. Okay, so then these can follow the any exams, like there is a two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. Okay, so they can follow any exams, but they do not follow any Euclid postulate. So here we have fourth question. The fourth question is, if a point C lies between two points A and B, yes, there is a two points A and B. There is a C point which is lies between A and B. There is a point C which is lies between A and B, such that here they have given AC equals to BC. Prove that. What we need to prove here, to prove that AC is half of AB. Okay, so here in this question we have AC and yes, they have given AC equals to BC. So here we know AB can be written as or AC plus BC. AC plus BC can be written as AC plus BC, we will get AB. Okay, so here AC plus, in the place of BC I substitute AC. Okay, this is 1. Again we have AB, this is by 1. Okay, here AC, in the place of BC I just write an AC. AC plus AC is 2AC equals to AB, or AC equals to AB divided by, into 2 becomes here divided by 2, that is AC is nothing but half of AB. So here in fifth question we have, so in question number 4, point C is called midpoint of line segment AB. Okay, here we have AB and C is midpoint. So then prove that every line segment has only one midpoint. Okay, so here I take another midpoint D. Okay, so C, first consider C is midpoint. C is midpoint of AB. Okay, so here C, if C is midpoint of AB means we can write AC plus BC, or C is midpoint means AC equals to BC. AC equals to BC, and we can write AC plus BC equals to AB. So here AC plus of, in the place of BC I substitute AC equals to AB. Okay, AC plus AC is 2AC equals to AB. I call this as equation number 1. Okay, so same thing, if I take D as midpoint, D is midpoint of AB. If D is midpoint means AD equals to BD, AD equals to DB. Okay, if D is midpoint means AD equals to DB, then AD plus DB equals to again AB. Okay, in the place of DB I substitute again AD equals to AB. Okay, AD plus AD is 2AD, AD equals to AB. I call this as equation number 2 here. From 1 and 2, AB equals to AC, AB equals to AD. Then, so 1 equals to 2. Okay, then 2AC equals to 2AD. Okay, so here AB equal means these two are equal. So 2 to get cancelled, here we have AC equals to AD. Here it is nothing but AC equals to AD means these are single points. Okay, not different points. Okay, so here therefore C and D are denotes single point. It means C and D are same. Okay, that is C equals to D. So it is nothing but a line has only one midpoint. So therefore a line has one and only one midpoint. So here sixth question is AC equals to BD. Prove that AB equals to CD. So in the given line, yes, I will draw a line here. This is A, B, C and D. So here they have given AC equals to BD. Yes, what we need to prove here, AB equals to CD. So here, yes, I just take this the data. AC can be written as AB plus BC. AB plus BC. BD can be written as BC plus CD. BC plus CD. Next here we have AB plus BC. This BC becomes minus BC equals to CD. Plus BC minus BC becomes 0. Then AB equals to CD. Hence the proof. Yes, seventh question is, why is exam 5 in the list of Euclid exam considered a universal truth? Note that the question is not about fifth postulate. They have asked fifth exam. Okay, the fifth exam is the whole is greater than its part. Then its part. Okay, so this is called universal truth. Okay, we will prove this one by example. Okay, see if A, B and C are the parts of total T. Okay, that is T can be written as A plus B plus C. Okay, so it is known that T is greater than A, T is greater than B, T is greater than C. Here T is whole. Okay, and A, B and C are what? The parts. So it is clear that T is greater than A, B and C. Okay, therefore this is considered a universal truth.